This week's topic comes from Nate, who wanted to know how to shift from feeling like he was only existing to feeling like he was really living. In the previous video, I talked about how I got through feeling like I was only existing. In this video, I'll talk about how I shifted from feeling like I was only existing to feeling like I was really living. In the next video, I'm focusing on connection. No, I'm not focusing on connection. I'm focusing on really living. Then we'll meditate, and in the last video, we'll do the Friday ditty, where I bring it all together and get a little more poetic and a little bit nerdy to make sense of the journey. All the videos will appear in the playlist from only existing to really living. If you have a question like Nate did, or a topic, comment below or DM me on Instagram. I'm Angela, and this is me making sense of myself. The question I'm starting with today is, tell me about a time you felt like you were only existing and you shifted to really living. Well, I am actually going to think I've got a moment that comes to mind actually that was just last week. We had a water pipe go out in the driveway, and it meant that the water to the entire house was turned off for 3 days. And I think that I didn't realize, number one, how much I took for granted as far as the water went, but also like the ease of that, and that I was just existing, expecting it to be there. So like this challenge that came up reminded me that, ooh, life happens, and isn't this cool? I get to do things differently for a few days. And it was not as easy for the rest of the people in the house to shift, and that's okay. It wasn't easy for me. Well, I don't know if easy is the right word. I was able to shift. It didn't mean that living without running water was going to be easy, because it meant I needed a lot more help. It meant all these other things. And okay, so that's just what's happening right now. Isn't this great? This is part of life, you know? So how did I know I was starting to really live? I think I knew that I was living in that moment that I'm talking about, because I was able to get creative. Is that the right word? Or maybe it's like embracing the ups and downs. How did you know you were starting to really live? Wow. I think there was almost some excitement that things were different. Wow. Isn't that interesting? That because something shifted and there were these different things, that I think that was a little bit exciting. I don't think I want it all the time, but it was exciting. And that's reminding me of when Ralph, in that movie, Ralph Wrecks the Internet, and Vanellope is talking about how she's a little bit bored with her racetracks because she knows them, even though she doesn't know if she's always going to win. She knew all the tracks, and it was kind of boring. I wonder if that's part of it. So why was it important to feel like you were really living? I think because then I'm not just a cog in the wheel, if you will, and that I'm here to learn and grow. I don't know, maybe it's some sort of a challenge for me. Why is it to really live? I think really living means I'm engaged and connected, and it's like this deep level or sensation that really living can give me. Wow, this topic is actually a little more challenging than I anticipated as far as answering the questions. Why is this change to really living important to me? Well, I think I only get a certain amount of time on this earth and with the people in my life, and I want that to matter. I I want to know that I had some impact on the world and that I made it a better place. And I can't do that if I'm just existing. Well, is that true? I suppose there could be some impact, but it wouldn't be a conscious impact. And maybe that's what I'm talking about is as far as like for me, is really living gives me a chance to choose how I'm going to behave in situations, um, and who I want to be and what that's going to look like. I think that really living allows me to live on that edge, not like the edge of doing things that are destructive, but on that edge of feeling like, ooh, I am living a life. So, what's one thing you did to really live when you felt like you were only existing? Well, that time in the story I told earlier, the water pipe broke. But I think this question is relating to a time when when I felt like I was only existing. And I think it's trying something new or reading. Oh my goodness, wow, I haven't thought about this in a long time. I remember years and years and years ago, I had this belief that gaming was not good at all. I couldn't see any benefits in it, and I can't remember where I got that idea from, but I was super frustrated, and I knew someone who played games a lot, and I was like, ooh, that's really bad. This is a horrible thing. And then I came across a book by Jane McGonigal called Reality is Broken. And in this book, my ideas were challenged, and I was able to see the benefit as to why people play games. And I think for me, like I don't know if it's a shot of adrenaline. I don't know if I want to call it a shot of adrenaline. But there's that sense of, oh, it's just hard enough, because it talked about how the games, like, they're just hard enough that you can be successful. Sometimes life is way too hard and it feels like you're never going to succeed. The reality is I mean, that's just reality. And that's why I think I call in other people to help me. But with gaming, like, oh, like that gives me a sense of accomplishment. And I think that that's where that really living can happen. So I think what happens is a lot of time people will go to games because that's actually a really safe place to practice. The problem is when we get stuck there. And I don't have games because my hands, I don't play video games or anything like that. I do other stuff. I guess I read books and I challenge my thinking and I turn those things into games. And that helps me feel like I'm really living when I can work my mind and put together ideas that other people wouldn't normally put together, and they work or they're exciting. Like, to me, that's fun. So, what effort or time did you put into shift from only existing to really living? Well, I mean, the effort is that I think part of it is that willingness to be wrong in some sense. Well, not necessarily wrong, but to be curious and try new things. And the time is, it can be painful reading books that I don't necessarily agree with to gain that insight. And so sometimes actually it's a lot of effort, because it's to me, when I'm challenging ideas and wondering if those ideas are, if it makes sense to challenge those ideas, it's hard, because it's like reading boilerplate legal documents. No offense to all you legal people out there or lawyers. My heart goes out to you. It's just for me, those are really hard. And to some people, that's very exciting, right? Like, please do that. Maybe that's where you find life. So do that. For me, apparently, I'm saying that. Maybe I find life there too, if that's what I'm reading to challenge my idea that I'm only existing. Isn't that interesting? What did you do, or what did you overcome to find that sense of really living? Again, I think it's those the challenging ideas and thoughts and beliefs, and deciding who am I going to be. And what inspires me to do that? I think what inspires me to challenge that only existing to really living, to challenge myself when I'm only existing and to get to really living, that knowing that I can get to that really living is actually what inspires me to challenge myself when I feel like I'm only existing. So perhaps it's that hope that I can get to the next place. When you shifted from only existing to really living, what did you notice in the people around you? More excitement? Now, I have to be careful here, because sometimes when I shift from only existing to really living, I think everyone else should shift with me, and that's not true. And I want them to be just excited as I am. But I've noticed that if I just have that zest for life and that excitement about what potential new thing is going to happen next, that then the people around me also start noticing those things too, and they start getting excited. And how do I know this? I know this because I see them starting to get excited, or I see them starting to shift or try new things that they wouldn't have otherwise tried, because they actually gain a little bit of confidence from me because they see that it's possible. And what did I need to see to know that really living impacted those around you or me? I think it was just seeing that they're willing to take those steps and to try new things and to challenge themselves. And sometimes I think they'll ask for information, or they'll ask where to find things, or they'll just be curious. And I think most importantly, it's when I see them being curious that I get really excited, because I know we're on the verge of something. What signs will you look for when you feel like you're only existing, and what will you do to start shifting? So I think the signs I will look for when I feel like I'm only existing are boredom, lots of TV watching. Probably I would let go of my meditation. So just being aware if I'm letting go of that, or if I'm not doing that, and isolating myself. I think those are important things to look for. And what would I do to start shifting? Brushing my teeth a different way, trying to be surprised, or not trying to be surprised, but like walking around as if things are new and like I've never seen them before, especially if they're not in my existence right this minute. Like right now I'm looking at the camera, but if I look over there, oh, wow, what is that? It looks like a pillow and there's a dog in it. What does that mean? Maybe it's a dog bed. You see where I'm going with this? Like just being like wondrous about everything, and how could that possibly have come into existence from here to here. And so I think the next question is, what skills will I use? I think those are the skills. And what does it mean that I can shift from that sensation of only existing to really living? What does that mean? It means that when it happens again in the future, that I will be able to handle it in a way that is productive and helpful. I think helpful probably is the better word, that I know that I can shift in the future, which is fantastic. I would love to hear from you. When have you found a way to shift from only existing to really living, and how did you do that? These videos will be located in the playlist From Only Existing to Really Living. I'm Angela, and this is me making sense of myself.